That was called Shabbat Shamor. The invocation this morning is from a local poet. You may know her as a neighbor, Maureen MacDonald McElroy. It's called Holy Waters. Pope Leo, can you bless the Gulf of Mexico, the dire straits, the Atlantic, the Pacific, the Indian Ocean, the Potomac? Can you bless the water in the pipes running through the White House, through Congress, through the Senate? I was raised Catholic, and I was taught that holy water protects us from evil, burns the infidel, or baptizes babies with their delicate fontanelles, infants who show a more visible beating of pulse than those with golden toilets. In the name of the fathers and the mothers and the suffering and the drowning and the elderly and the immigrant and the children, can you bless the swimming pools, the hot tubs, the fire hydrants, the Thames, the Seine, the great and less great lakes, Boston Harbor, my 40-gallon water heater? Bless the lot of it, bottle it, protect us, purify the aqueducts, the reservoirs, the runoff, the dog's bowl. I raise an empty glass. Welcome, everyone, to First Parish, Milton. My name is Penny Partridge, and I am the worship assistant this morning for Dan DeAngeli. He is the lay leader of today's service. The theme of today's service is more or less how we stay sane in an insane time. A special welcome to Claudia Wellington, and last minute add-on Owen Hartford, and Nicholas Miller, our wonderful audio technician. To anyone here for the first time, we're happy to have you with us this morning. As we say here in First Parish, however your journey, whatever your heritage, and whomever you love, you are welcome here. There should be information in your pew about First Parish, and any of us, including me, would be glad to answer any of your questions and encourage you to get over to the refreshments afterwards on the lawn between here and the parish hall. Please raise your hand if you're having any trouble hearing. And the sound can be adjusted. I don't see any hands, but if you're on Zoom, you can use the chat function to let us know if you're having any trouble. Do please remember to turn off your cell phones. Worship can take place both inside and outside the meeting place. Church projects and activities are listed in the link which comes out via email every Thursday, including in the summer. Is there anyone here who would like to make a brief announcement? Okay. Our lay-led summer services are a little different from the minister-led services during the rest of the year. They're an hour earlier, often shorter, and they often come from a very personal place in the lay leader, sharing something personal or sharing something they care a lot about. And this is the way we get to know each other in a different way than we would at the social hour or in our activities outside the meeting house. I'm now going to light our chalice, a symbol of Unitarian Universalism. Let it remind us of the warmth of our community and the hope we share that together we can make the world a better place, not just for ourselves, but for others. Oh boy, I just, uh-oh. Can you do? Oh, yes, do that directly.
Always wanted to do that. Now I've done it. Yeah.
I now want to give you a little history about this summer service that has gone by the name of The Interview. It's a toss-up whether that drew you in the mystery of it or, or kept people away because they didn't know what it was. It was going to be an interview. I was going to play Terry Gross to Dan's minor celebrity or public intellectual or author or all three. I would be asking him questions that would help him share with you the things he's been thinking about our political situation. But that proved to be hard to plan. He wrote me in by saying, you would be a person that both the audience and the interviewee would trust. So how could I refuse? But we gave up on the interview. We decided that I would be the worship assistant and also introduce Dan's reflection. I just want to say that some of our process was difficult, but our experience is a good example of one of Dan's themes today. We don't have to agree, but we have to stay with each other. We have to stay engaged, maybe more than ever before. It was good to work with Dan on this service. We helped each other think. I think we learned from each other, and I think we have become better friends for it. One more benefit of summer services. I have a little poem I wrote for Dan before one of the times we got together to plan this service. This is for Dan. It just happened there were 6 of us at the bank this morning. 2 black, 2 Asian, 2 white, and a biggish iguana named Rocky. The woman with Rocky explained she could tell he was happy, that his skin gets dark when he's down, but now he was rosy. And she said he'd let anyone hold him. So one woman did, and then one of the tellers came out from behind the plexiglass, and people took pictures. There was so much laughing in surprise and making all this eye contact you would never expect in line at the bank. And doesn't Dan say this is what we need more of now? To make contact with each other so we don't go insane.
I also have a reading. This is from Kyra Jewel Lingo. She is a Buddhist monk. She was at the Plum Blossom Monastery in France with Thich Nhat Hanh. This is what she says. In a sense, our culture, our society is dissolving. We are collectively entering the chrysalis, and structures we had come to rely on and identify with are breaking down. We are in the cocoon, and we don't know what the next phase will be like. Learning to surrender to the unknown in our lives is essential to our collective learning to move through this time of faster and faster change, disruption, and breakdown. And, like Penny says, we did go through several versions. It wasn't just so much of how to format the interview. It's also just the topic itself, which I got to tell you, I really bit off more than I can chew here with this one because, first of all, I want to just kind of address this very peculiar and rather frightening moment in our national life. It's a big topic. It's a multi-headed gorgon. It's ugly. It's scary. It's also a moving target. I mean, every day this monster assumes some new shape, and it also seems to drift lower and lower. And just when you think it couldn't get any worse, some new thing emerges, and you're just like, what? So you may wish to cocoon yourselves. You've heard of the flight or flight response. You fight or you run away. Well, there's a third one they never talk about, and that's just curling up in a ball. Okay, we just don't get it. We just don't really grasp the scope of this thing. See, our problem is we're thinking rationally. Okay? We're thinking rationally, we're thinking reasonably, we're thinking legalistically and constitutionally, and we're just going about our lives and say, wait, excuse me, but, and we're using these tools to get our response and our perhaps our pushback to something that is irrational, to something that is outrageous, to something that is entirely illegal, entirely unconstitutional, and is just spitting out of control. So the first thing I just want to put out there right now is our tools are inadequate. Okay? Our response is inadequate. I'm not saying we shouldn't be having the response we're having. I'm just saying that we don't really know what this thing is right now. And it's okay. It's okay to say that. I mean, this is a safe space. And words kind of fail us. Just look at one word, disappear. You thought you knew what that word meant. Well, it's got a whole new meaning now. We're just struggling with words. And because we struggle with words and the inadequacy of words, we tend to fall back on poetry. We fall back on art. We fall back on metaphor and movie scenes and comedy bits or whatever it is to kind of structure and contain what is happening so we can get our heads around it. I'm sure, like you, we all have this moment of surreality, this kind of a, I think the psychologists call it cognitive disconnect, where you just, the framework of your mind can't really accommodate what your senses are taking in. And it does feel very much like a movie. And why shouldn't it? Come on. This guy, you know who I'm talking about. I don't like to use his name. I just call him 47. He was a reality TV star. So what other reality would we have except one that looks like TV, which is all made up anyway? And so, don't get me wrong. I watch TV. I love movies. In fact, I use movies quite a lot. I administer them prophylactically to escape my reality as best I can. Has anyone here seen the movie Casablanca? Raise your hand if you, yeah, okay. So it's a pretty well-known movie. I've watched the movie many, many times throughout my life. I always find that wherever I'm at in whatever's happening in my life, there's always some aspect of Casablanca that kind of helps me sort of get it, whether it's a girlfriend problem or a work problem or whatever problem. Casablanca's got the answer, whatever the problem is. And so we got problems right now, a lot of problems. And, Casablanca, you may not know this, but Casablanca was made in 1942. This is just a few months after Pearl Harbor. So what does that actually mean at the moment that it was released? It means that, yes, we were at war with Japan, just gearing up for, we were basically a sleeping giant. and we're just gearing up for our conflict with Japan. But as far as Europe goes, forget about it, man. That's not even our problem. We're just like the Humphrey Bogart character. He says, I don't stick my neck out for anybody. And that reflected the feelings of millions of Americans at that time. It's like, all right, we already bailed you out once in World War I. We're not going over and doing it again. Forget it. So, yes, at that moment that Casablanca is made, it's kind of, the story is happening in real time. I mean, the Germans had complete dominance of continental Europe at that time. But the part that interests me is, okay, you've got all these different characters, and they all have some different kind of response or reaction to the horror of Nazism. Now, some of us may look at the movie and find that we relate to one character or a different character. Maybe we would like to think that we could rise to the occasion like Victor Laszlo. I mean, this is the Paul Henry character. You remember, he's just escaped. I mean, regardless of the fact that he's been in a concentration camp, he dresses amazing. I mean, the suits, that's the clothes alone are enough to see this movie. So there he is. And he's just learned that his wife has had an affair with Humphrey Bogart. And you know what? He doesn't care. Or at least if he does, it doesn't register. Why? Because he's got his mind on this much bigger idea, this much bigger commitment. And I want to come back to that. But we see him, and you just think, okay, that's pretty heroic, but that's probably not me. I mean, maybe you relate to Ilsa. Why not? You're torn between love and duty, and you're basically guided by your emotions, and you really would prefer that someone else did all the thinking. Yeah, I can relate to that part. Or maybe you are like the piano player, Sam. You know, you just want people to be happy, and you play your songs, and everyone's singing and drinking and having a good time. Why not? Seems okay. But the thing is, it's just a movie, okay? It's not real. You have to, and as we go through this crisis together, you have to figure out what your role or character relates to who you are. You have to be authentic to yourself. Like, I'm not Victor Laszlo, neither are you. You have to figure out what works for you. So, who am I? Well, I have a few different hats. One of them is being an artist. And I used to make pretty little watercolors, but lately, all my artwork is just protest signs. And after the service, if you're curious, I have a little impromptu gallery up here in the front. You know, I love making the signs. Here's one right here. Okay, this one says, "Wake up and smell the coup." And you see, there she is. She's got her coffee cup, and she's saying, "If you don't revolt, who will?" Here's one I made. It's more of a graphic tool. This is my moodometer. Okay, and this is how I let Liz know if I'm in a bad mood. You know, so I got different. You know, then she doesn't have to say, "Oh, how are you feeling?" I can just kind of, put it out there. Steer clear today. Not doing so good. I mean, I would like to be down here, but I'm usually, just fluctuating. So, I do artwork. Artwork is great. Some people do music. Some people cook, garden. We heard a lay-led service about gardening as a way to come back to the present, come back to the here and now. That's also good. I also go to a lot of protest marches. All right, you got to use those signs somewhere, and that's a good thing too. I think for those of you that have not been to a protest, I would try to get to it. It gives you a tremendous feeling of solidarity. I mean, at least you're with other people that are mad and confused, but at least you can feel the power. I mean, come on, we got 350 million people here right now. And I can tell you, most of them are not happy about what's happening. So somehow, we have to figure out how to harness that tremendous power of us. Here's another one. Hello, our pronouns are we, us. Yes. We, us. Anyway, look, I don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen. We have not been down this road before. But, you know, others have been down this road. We can look to the past. I mean, we don't know what we're supposed to do. So kind of our default mode is this thing. You know, like we're just, you know, I have a very complicated sort of ambivalent relationship with this device, you know, and it's a little too easy just to say, I'm just doing nothing right now. I'll just, you know, I'll see what kind of nightmare we're in today. Da-da-da-da-da. Oh, what? You know, and it's just, you know, it's really not good for you. You know, it's like you've heard of, it's sort of, I sort of have a binge purging relationship with my phone. You know what I mean? Like you just get it away from me, please. And, you know, you're like Linus with his security blanket. You're just like, take it away from me, Charlie Brown. Just take it away. Don't give it back to me. And then you get all shaky and nervous because you don't have your phone, and then there, you know, it's back again. Look, you're the boss. It's just a thing. You get to excuse me. Hello? What? No, I told you, it's in the back. Look, I can't talk right now. Goodbye. I'll call you later. Sorry. You're the boss. You get to decide. Phone doesn't decide. So anyway, you know, the phone, it's kind of like, picture this. You know how it is when you're driving down the highway and everything's going great, but then suddenly the traffic just kind of comes to a halt and there's something. You don't know what it is. And then gradually you come up and then you see, oh, it's nothing. Or maybe it's something really spectacular. Maybe there's a car on fire. Well, I can tell you something. You're going to look at that fire. Even if you don't want to look, you can't not look, right? And that's kind of the thing with the phone. You know, like it's like this ongoing highway car fire that you know you don't want to look, you know it's bad for you, and yet you look anyway. I mean, I got into a kind of an argument with someone in this parish right now, and I said, you know, Ezra Klein can wait, man. Turn it off. Do it some other time. You don't need to. No. I need to know, Dan. I need to know. And, you know, I get it. Like you have a sense of duty, a sense of curiosity. Maybe you actually kind of get off on it a little bit, right? It's a fight or flight response. You can feel your heart rate raising, and you're just like, yeah, I'm not just, oh, and you know, it's kind of a, I don't know, but it's not a good thing because you come down from that and then you feel horrible. So I guess what I'm trying to say here is we're not the first people to go through this, okay? There have been many, many generations before us that have had to confront evil, have had to go through something that they weren't planning to go through, do not wish to go through, and somehow they rose to the occasion. I just finished War and Peace. Now, I didn't actually read War and Peace. It's like this thick, right? I heard it on audiobook. But I just got to share this one bit that I think really speaks to who we are. This is 1812. The French are in Paris, 3,000 miles away. No problem, right? Well, they're going to be right here in Moscow next week. And those Russians, they were kind of shocked. And this is what Leo Tolstoy said about this imminent invasion. With the enemy's approach to Moscow, the Muscovites' view of their situation did not grow more serious, but on the contrary, became even more frivolous. As always happens with people who see a great danger approaching. At the approach of danger, there are always two voices that speak with equal power in the human soul. One, very reasonably, tells a man to consider the nature of the danger and the means of escaping it. The other, still more reasonably, says it is too depressing and painful to think of the danger, since it is not in man's power to foresee everything and avert the general course of events, and it is therefore better to disregard what is painful till it comes, and to think of what is pleasant. And you know, when I heard that, I thought, wow, that's just like when I first discovered what Project 2025 is. You know, it was so horrible that I just thought, no, he can't get elected. It just can't happen. It just can't, like I couldn't wrap my head around it and now it's actually being executed. So, you know, it's hard to know what our role is, but I want you to just hold something. I don't want to be like completely negative here. I want you to think about brave people who have come before us. Think about, I don't know, suffragettes. You know, what they wanted was something that nobody wanted to give them. And, you know, like Victor Laszlo, my wife, who cares? Look, this is our thing. Like, we're going to get this vote. We're going to stand true. Okay? I want you to think about abolitionists. Abolitionists, come on. They had the entire southern half of the United States that was completely mired in their way of life, but they said, nope, we're gonna get this thing. We're gonna get this thing. I mean, civil rights marchers. You know, the thing that all these people share is faith. Faith. Now, I am not a particularly religious person. I am a product of my own culture, consumerism, distraction at all times, you know, popular culture, movies, what have you. I don't consider myself a particularly deeply faithful person. But, you know, maybe I need to become one. Maybe we all need to become one. Maybe there's some way we can kind of bring that back where we just kind of say, it doesn't matter what shoes I wear today, okay? It doesn't matter. My wife had a thing. What? It doesn't matter. You know, there's only one thing, and it's saving this country. And I don't know how this is going to happen. I don't have a crystal ball, okay? But I do think that there's something about our sort of ironic, jokey, smug, everything's kind of here for our entertainment. I mean, it's not serving us anymore. We got to find some, it's like the song we sing in this church sometimes, you know, we have to find some new way. I have no idea what it is, though. But I do know this. You can make choices, okay? You can choose not to deal with this, and you can choose to do art, and you know what? You can even choose what you're feeling. You do not have to feel outraged all the time, every day. You can choose something happier for yourself. Now, here's a question. Is it okay to feel happy or to feel calm, knowing the horror that's out there? I mean, can we really enjoy this beautiful summer day, knowing what they're building down in Florida right now? Is that okay for us to be happy in spite of that? It's a very, like, there's no comfortable place. Well, I'm here to tell you, not only is it okay to feel happy, it's your job to feel happy, okay? Because I can tell you straight up, nobody wants to live with someone who's going on and on about the news all the time. That's a little wearing. It's a little tiring. So choose happiness for the people you live with, if not for yourself, okay? Think about that. And, you know, as far as sort of diverting your attention, you know, I was just driving around Milton with Liz. I don't always ride my bike. I am actually driving sometimes. We're just driving around, doing errands. Everything's fine. But I'm not inside. I'm not doing so good. Why? I was glug, 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 glug. And then I'm out driving around. I say, do you believe? I mean, did you read Heather Cockburn? I mean, I just, you know, and I'm just like, you can see the smoke coming out of my ears. And, you know, we come up to this light, and you could just kind of see the whiteness of the knuckles gripping the steering wheel. And I'm just getting madder and just more irritated. And Liz interrupts me, and she just says, wow. And I'm like, yeah, wow, yeah. It's like, no, wow, look at this tree over here. Isn't it a lovely color? And I'm like, oh, you know, and then she's looking at the tree. And now I'm looking at the tree. And the tree's looking back at us. And we're all there together, all three of us, you know? And then I kind of like, wait, what was I, you know, and I'm like, whoa, I'm in this moment. I'm here right now. I'm just, you know, waiting for the light to change. There's the tree. It's fine. In this moment, I'm okay. And you just got to kind of take that moment for yourself, okay? I give you permission to do this. It was, for me, it was like this profound moment of awareness. This is like, okay, I'm here. And it was like a turning point. I mean, at least until the light changed, I was a Buddhist monk. But then I was just me again, and it was fine. So, but again, I guess what I'm trying to say here is you can really kind of choose what you're aware of. And there's a lot that's wonderful, honestly. I mean, it's just, you walk into your kitchen and you turn on a tap and out comes water. Water. I mean, picture yourself as a homesteader with a sod hut and a mud floor. I mean, what would that person say about this laboratory where you can just drink the water at any time and it's perfectly safe to drink? It is a miracle, okay? Or just you wander over, you're feeling a little hungry, you open up the refrigerator door, and there's some day-old potato salad. It's just sitting there. It's fantastic. Some nice person made this potato salad. It's a freaking miracle, man, that potato salad. Oh, what about the box that it's in? That's cold box. Come on. I mean, but this is just technology. You're still not impressed? Okay, I want you to go outside right now. I want you to take a walk down the street. I want you to look at the sidewalk. And what do you see? You see like a bunch of ants, and they're just all crawling all over each other. All these ants, and you know what? No one's paying them to do it. No one had to advertise. They're just being ants. Man, are they committed to being ants, okay? And I don't know. They seem to be doing a better job at being ants than we are at being human. Still not impressed? Okay, here's something really, really easy. You can do it today. You can do it at any time. I want you to, while you're outside, I just want you to look up. Look up. I mean, imagine if you couldn't see the sky. Imagine if you were incarcerated. You weren't allowed to see the sky. We have that privilege. We can look at the sky anytime, and anytime you look, it's amazing. I promise you, today you have multi-shades of gray and blue. A different day, maybe pink. Maybe you've got a sunrise, a sunset, or just the sheer power of the sun itself at noon. You know, I just feel like, you know, we're spending all our time here. It's just like, ugh, get it away from me. You know, I want you to be in the present. I want you to feel these things that are happening all the time, every time. Okay? And be grateful. Be grateful. You know, you're going to be 8 miles high, but then eventually you're going to come back down, and you're going to be on terra firma, and you're going to see all the people, and you're going to have this realization. I don't have to figure this out on my own. Okay? I can be connected to you, and to you, and to you, and you, and each one of us. We can be here together and figure this thing out. We're just rolling down the highway together. It's weird, it's scary, it's wonderful, but the main thing is we're all here together. Thank you. So, speaking of clouds, I have seen clouds from both sides. And Claudia has something in that vein to offer. Those of you that you'll see there's a sheet with hearts on one side and lyrics on the other. Feel free to sing or not sing, stand or sit as you are able. I'm going to stop talking now.
Thank you, Dan. Is my mic on? Rose and flows of angel hair and ice cream castles in the air and feather canyons everywhere. I've looked at clouds that way, but now they only block the sun. They rain and snow on everyone. So many things I would have done, but clouds got in my way. I've looked at clouds from both sides now, from up and down, and still somehow it's clouds' illusions I recall. I really don't know clouds at all. cruise in Ferris wheels, the dizzy dancing way you feel as every fairy tale comes real. I've looked at love that way, but now it's just another show. You leave 'em laughing when you go, and if you care, don't let them know. Don't give yourself away. I've looked at love from both sides now, from give and take, and still somehow it's love's illusions I recall. I really don't know love at all. Tears and fears and feeling proud to say I love you right out loud. Dreams and schemes and circus crowds, I've looked at life that way. But now all friends are acting strange. They shake their heads, they say I've changed. Well, something's lost, but something's gained in living every day. I've looked at life from both sides now, from win and lose, and still somehow it's life's illusions I recall. I really don't know life at all. Looked at life from both sides now, from up and down, and still somehow it's life's illusions I recall. I really don't know life at all.
So, since words are such poor communicators, I thought we just might take a moment of letting silence communicate. So I'm going to do the thing, and we're just going to be here, and you know the drill.
We have a little prayer here from Tucker Smith. Gratitude to for all among us who stood up for democracy, at Church of the Holy Spirit Friday evening. Amen. It was wonderful. There were about 50 people singing and playing, and people coming up to us. Somebody said, I'd like to help, and I'd like to join you, and so on. So that was really, really good. Today's offering is dedicated to the services and ministry of First Parish Milton. To give, simply text 617-539-7576 with the amount you'd like. And as you know, you can also leave cash or a check in the plate up here or back by the front door. And your turn.
Yeah. So, as I extinguish the flame of our faith, what can I say? You know, we're all in this together. We're going to figure this thing out. There could be crying, there could be laughing, there could be hurling, like they say in the movies. And the thing is, I thank you for coming. Come look at my signs. You know, I was thinking maybe I would do a workshop if there was, critical mass is like 3 people. So if 3 people say, I'm down. No, seriously, I really want to do this. I'll do a workshop. So that's what I need, 3 people. And then please join us for refreshments. And now Claudia's going to make another offering.
Many's the time I've been mistaken, many times confused, yes, and I've often felt forsaken and certainly misused. But it's all right, I'm all right, I'm just weary to my bones. Still, you don't expect to be bright and bon vivant, so far away from home, so far away from home. Don't know a soul who's not been battered, don't have a friend who feels at ease, don't know a dream that's not been shattered and driven to its knees. But it's all right, it's all right, we've lived so well so long. Still, when I think of the road we're traveling on, I wonder what's gone wrong. Can't help it, I wonder what's gone wrong. And I dreamed I was dying, I dreamed that my soul rose unexpectedly, and looking back down at me, smiled reassuringly. And I dreamed I was flying, and high up above, my eyes could clearly see the Statue of Liberty sailing away to sea. And I dreamed I was flying. We come on the ship they call the Mayflower. We come on the ship that sailed the moon. Come in the age's most uncertain hour and sing an American tune. But it's all right, it's all right. You can't be forever blessed. Still, tomorrow's gonna be another working day, and I'm trying to get some rest. That's all, I'm trying to get some rest. Make lemonade.